Hello and welcome back to 21st Century Football, your complete guide to football in the 21st century. So far, that is. My name's Will Brazier, and before we get into it, just wanted to say a massive thank you. We've launched it. They're out there. You're enjoying them. So thank you very much from all of us here at 21st Century Football. Today, Aguero, as I like to call him, but it's not about him. It's not about me. Statman Dave, welcome back. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Really good.
Yeah?
You know, it's been a good little break from the world. And now Aguero's potentially going to be leaving the Premier League. Big news.
Yeah.
So we're going to reflect on his life in the Premier League. It's going to be fun.
Speaking of reflecting, obviously, someone's been on the ASOS website, bought themselves some new players.
Yeah, I went a little bit into, two-footed into the ASOS website.
Yeah.
I think I bought everything on there. I'm going to have to return some goods so I don't go bankrupt. But it was a great time.
Nice. You got the receipt for those chains, or?
Yeah, I do, mate.
Lovely
Nice and
stuff.
cheap.
And it's a massive welcome to 21st Century Football. Nieve, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's good to be on here and just to be blessed with such a presence of you two.
Well, I think the presence comes from Dave today, just with, I've never seen anything like it.
You were impressed. I don't know why you're trying to hammer it.
not.
When I walked up the stairs, you were like, wow, you're looking fresh today, Dave. And I was like, thanks, Will. I worked on it for you.
Lovely stuff. We always start with the Wikipedia page, but we're breaking it down a little bit differently today. We've each got a stat from that Wikipedia page, basically so it doesn't sort of go on a bit too much, let's be honest. Dave, what have you got?
Sergio Lionel Aguero del Castillo was born on June the 2nd, commonly known as Kun Aguero, hence why he wears Kun on the back of his shirt, his childhood nickname based on a title character from the cartoon Come Come.
Wow, there we go. And what a start. Would you? Yeah, Niamh, yeah, go on. What have you got? I think we better move on quickly from that.
Aguero moved to Premier League club Manchester City in July 2011. On the last day of his debut season in Manchester, he scored a last-minute winner to win the club's first league title in 44 years. Aguero became Manchester City's all-time goal scorer in November 2017.
Love that. And then I've got, it's got a, I don't know why I've been given this one, but it says, after all, we've spoken about the highs of his on-field achievements, and I've got, during the 3-month football break due to coronavirus, Aguero started live streaming, playing video games on Twitch, and he became the fastest growing streamer of the month of May, reaching 1 million followers. Niamh, do you Twitch?
Just not good enough for it, not cut out for it like Aguero, unfortunately.
No, I mean, Dave, you're on there. I think
Yeah.
you're around like the 100 mark on the subscribers, but this guy's hit 1 million followers in a month.
Well, it's easy when your best mate's Lionel Messi, right? You just give him a call and everyone jumps on the stream.
Your best mate's
Cheating.
your West Brown, though. What about that?
Yeah, you see a big... I haven't brought him in yet. I haven't cashed that chip in.
Yeah.
But one day, Wes will come on. Maybe Scott McTominay, the guys. We'll chat to them all. And it'll be great. And then I'll be able to get on the 1 million followers. You know what I mean?
Love that. Niamh, obviously in your one, we spoke about him joining the Premier League. What's your first memory of Sergio Agüero?
Relegating my football club with his goal. And that goal, everyone remembers it as the securing the title for Man City, but it's also the goal that sent Bolton Wanderers down. So the fact he's never scored against us, which I hold by that and stand by that, obviously, at least he got the last laugh because he actually relegated us and destroyed my life.
So, because I was from a neutral perspective, I'll get to you in a minute, Dave. But when you're watching that QPR game, your emotions must have been up. Were you at the Reebok that day?
Yep, and
I'm sorry to start on such a downer, isn't it?
Yeah, I was just like,
welcome.
I was invited in. The email that said it was going to be fun. It's going to be a really good time, and all of a sudden,
Gets better throughout the day.
Were investigating me. No, it's just I just don't remember. It's like when people watch back, the Premier League years and stuff, and I just refuse to watch back that season. It's
right.
Just
I agree. I don't think it really exists I'm not really bothered by it. It's one of those ones I'd skip
get rid of it.
Yeah, I'd probably delete it as well, to be fair.
So at what point, because it was such a topsy-turvy game just on that game, and we'll get to it from a Man City perspective, but what were the highs and the lows? When were you up and when were you down?
Well, to be honest with you, we destroyed it for ourselves, so we were always going to go down. It wasn't Aguero's fault. In fact, what he did had nothing to do with it. It was actually it worked for us because we needed QPR to lose.
Got you.
But I still think about it as his fault because I think it just helps.
Yeah, and that's a good narrative to have as well.
I think so too.
Dave, on the flip side of that, were you at the Stadium of Light that day?
No, I wasn't actually. I think I was at university.
Oh,
maybe.
right.
Maybe not Unive.
A young Statman Dave,
a young
head
Statman
down in the
Dave,
spreadsheet.
yeah, making his way in the stats game.
Yeah.
Having a great time. But I'd like given up. That season I'd given up. City were very, very good that year. Got to the point where I was like, they've won the league, fine. I'd made peace with it.
That's good.
And
That's
at
nice.
one point of the day, I'm thinking, fine, this is done. We win the game, cool. They'll win it on goal difference or however they'll win it, fine. But then you get that hype. Like United finally take the lead. It's a scrappy old game against Sunderland. Like it was a bad game of football. They take the lead and you're thinking, this is going to happen. And you get hyped again. And then your energy gets up and up and up.
You're feeling it.
You think, oh,
there we
QPR
go.
have scored it.
Yeah, nice.
Joey Barton then gets sent off. I still believe, bit of conspiracy there. Ex-City player.
Is it bitterness or are you on something?
I
Believe me, Nieve,
genuinely
it is
think,
bitterness.
look, you're looking at
Good God.
a man born in Liverpool, plays for Manchester City, then leaves, comes back a hero, but getting sent off.
You are
Watch that
unbelievable.
red card back, very dodge.
We're here to speak about Kun Aguero, not how Manchester United were cheated out of one of the league titles, according to you.
Yeah, well, it's fact, mate.
But when it gets to that Sergio Agüero goal,
I was fuming.
were you?
I was absolutely fuming.
Even I was like...
I was seething.
So what were you... So you were upset because your team were going down?
I just didn't care about life anymore. So for me, it's just, I just don't see it in the same way that everyone else sees it.
Yeah. And you were...
I honestly don't think it's that good a moment.
Oh,
I'll put it out there. So it's
absolutely
that good.
ridiculous.
I don't think it's that good. I've seen better moments in the
New
Premier
shirt,
League.
new attitude, and it absolutely stinks. We also have got some fantastic stats on the man, just to sort of... I feel like we're talking him down a little bit, especially you over there in the £18 shirt. I want to start off with this stat, if I can, guys. Sergio Agüero has scored as many Premier League hat-tricks as Ronaldo Cantona, Dennis Bergkamp, Daniel Sturridge, Jurgen Klinsmann, Gianluca Vialli, Louis Sahar, Gareth Bale, Roberto Firmino, Samuel Eto'o. The list drops off a little bit here. Stan Collymore and Olivier Giroud combined.
That just thinks of a stat of we're going to just chuck in Klinsmann, Vialli, Saha.
Yeah, pad it out a little bit.
Yeah, Collymore.
Starts off very well.
Yeah, it does start off pretty well, to be fair. And I think the thing with Aguero is he's got a great minutes to goal ratio. He's got the best in Premier League history, 108 minutes per goal. That's what I like about Aguero. I think when he's played, he's been clinical and brilliant. My slight issue with Aguero is it's the longevity and it's the injuries that have been the concern, because I think he would have been the best striker of all time if he'd been fit. I think he had enough seasons at City to score more goals than Shearer, and if he's scoring at that rate that he would have broken the record. And I think it's an interesting one. Obviously, he's massive for City. First time I saw Aguero, I was watching, I can't remember what show it was, Channel 5 show, and he was playing for
Shout out Channel
Independiente.
5.
I don't know if it was Trans World Sport, but it was one of those type channels.
Well, if it was Dave, that would have been Channel 4.
Classic. I think I was going on holiday somewhere.
What a start.
And it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I think we were driving to France to go skiing or something like that. And this young lad from Independiente was tearing it up.
Yeah.
I was thinking, this guy's going to be the big cheese. Moved to Atletico, follow his career, doing really well at Atletico, and then he moves to Man City. And I think it was a good move for him. I think it was a good move for City. But I also say as well, I don't know if he quite fit Pep Guardiola's system and style.
Right.
I think he was great before.
Because when he came in under...
He came in under Mancini, but I think he played his best football under Pellegrini in terms of playing with another forward with him and dropping off the line. And I think he's a second striker. He's very much in the ilk of a Wayne Rooney, let's say. And I think playing in Pep's system and setup sometimes makes him a little bit isolated. A player that likes to play those 1-2s and play a little bit more in a free role versus kind of like that structured City style.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, a fantastic goal scorer.
Nieve, I've got on my sheet, it says here, is he the greatest Premier League striker of all time?
It's hard because stats-wise, everyone's always going to say the striker that scored the most goals is the greatest, Alan Shearer, but you can't deny the quality of Aguero, and I think the dimensions of his game as well, and just the big moments that he stepped up. I personally think you're right though. I think if he kept it up and was injury free and had those full seasons, especially in the last few years, then perhaps we'd be having a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I find it really difficult to really argue a case for him over Shearer and Omri.
Yeah, it is tough. But here's one for you. Fantasy booking. Bolton of the checkbooks, write what you want on it. You can have any striker in their prime that's played in the Premier League, like the ones you mentioned. Who are you choosing?
Emil Heskey.
Thank you. Welcome to 21st century. And you fit.
That is
and
a
you,
sensational shout.
and right there,
Yeah.
welcome.
Bang.
Welcome.
That combination with Kevin Nolan would have been unbelievable.
I think so.
Just how would you deal with that?
I'm a big fan of the
Kevin
big man.
Nolan's late runs into the box, his aggression, and you got Emil Heskey up front. Like that's better than Aguero, better than Henry, better than Shearer, better than Wayne Rooney. Let's just leave it like that. But I think on that sort of Sergio Agüero Premier League record, I was diving into the minutes. I was diving into the numbers.
Right, can I just say, Nieve, there's going to be a lot of bullshit that's spouted probably in the next 5 minutes, so just brace yourself. And if you want to jump in, just jump in, because I will be
straight
doing
in.
it. Yeah.
What I was looking at was comparing Henry, Aguero, Shearer, and Rooney. I think they are the four probably the best strikers in Premier League history.
Yeah.
When you look at Aguero's record in terms of what he did, so from 2014 up until 2018, 20 plus goal seasons, talking 26, 24, 20, 21, 21.
Which is outstanding.
Absolutely outstanding.
Brilliant.
Sensational.
Brilliant.
But he's never hit over 3,000 minutes in the Premier League. Okay. That's like a standard mark of you hit that number, you'll go on to great things.
Okay.
You need to play that amount of minutes to score that amount of goals.
But doesn't that make those stats look even more impressive?
It does, but then when you compare it to Henry, Rooney, Shearer, it paints it in a different light. So Henry's best seasons in terms of his best run was 24, 24, 30, 25, 27 versus what we previously had.
So what we're saying, if he'd have had more luck with injuries, he would have hit those numbers.
It just sounds like you're really holding it against him, these injuries,
and
you're saying he's to blame for the injuries.
I think you've got to look after your body. And there's a lot that was spoke about when Aguero joined Man City and how he didn't look after himself. He was living in a flat in Manchester with a mattress on the floor.
I mean, how do you know that? That's ridiculous.
That's what I've heard.
From who?
On the grapevine. I can't reveal sources, but that lack of...
Come, whatever his name was. How do you know that?
What I've heard.
You don't know that?
I've heard that.
It's like me going, dude, Gary wasn't a success because I heard he was sleeping in a bunk bed.
No, but around that point, okay, so his lifestyle wasn't great for keeping himself injury-free.
But you don't know that.
That's what I've heard, mate.
You don't? From who?
Right.
Neve, do you want to just make up something and go... I've heard he was eating village fish and chips every night.
Well, it'd be yours. I think there's a lot to do with like professionalism, and we look at the likes of Gerrard, Lampard, any Premier League great. They
have a quality bed.
They've got a quality bed. First and foremost, they actually get themselves a bed that they can go to sleep.
They have an Emma mattress.
Whether it is him looking at, whether it's his body type that's the issue, there is an issue there. So that, first and foremost, I think Henry's a better Premier League striker than Aguero. I think if we look at Rooney, his assist record is better than Aguero. Goals and assists, I think that makes him a better forward overall.
Hang on, we're saying the word here is striker. Who gets you? So you're saying Rooney is a better striker?
So a striker needs to get teams goals.
Yeah.
If he's impacting that with the last pass or putting the ball in the back of the net, for me it doesn't matter.
Okay.
And I think Rooney's record of 10 plus Premier League assists in season after season after season puts him up there. I think when we look at Shearer, his most successful run was 31, 31, 31. Or slightly different to that, but there was above 30s. Maybe 34, 31, 31.
But I feel like we're doing a lot of
But then that's what we have to look at. We have to look at... If we're saying he is the best, we have to compare him
no one's saying
with
he's the best. I'm saying top three. What about you, Niamh?
Yeah, I'd say top three. It has to be.
I'll put him fourth. Behind Shearer, Rooney and Henry.
But hang on, because
look at what he's won though with Man City.
Okay, so if we look at him as a striker for Man City, Champions League.
No.
What's he done in the Champions League?
Hang on. But you've got to think when he came in, started that game against Swansea, came on as a sub, where Man City were in comparative to the other players as well.
That's not just about him.
Hey?
They've spent $500 million on defenders in that time, right?
Yeah.
So we can't give all the success to Manchester City on just Sergio Agüero.
Right.
Kevin De Bruyne is a massive part of that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying.
So impact in the Champions League. So Henry and Rooney both play for Champions League clubs. They both scored more goals in the knockout stages. Both of them over 10. Aguero, 9. When you look at those numbers, 8 of those 9 came in the last 16 ties. Not a semi-final, not a final, not a quarter-final.
Can I just say something, Dave?
Go on.
I really like you, and I think we've sort of formed a friendship.
I've got one last thing to drop after this.
Okay, go on, you drop. You drop now.
So the last thing, so City's run when they got to the final, how many goals did Aguero score in that run?
Tell me.
1. Single goal. And I think that
It's a big thing to say.
is not a positive for a player that we consider as one of the Premier League greats. When you think Henry...
Hang on, the key word there, Premier League. No, you're bringing in this Champions League.
I'm quantifying in terms of the impact of him as a player in such things as the Champions League for Manchester City. Because of what you'd expect City to kind of do is you'd expect them to win the Champions League. Especially that season when they got to the final, when they got to the final was semi-final. That was a great run, but his only goal came against Dynamo Kiev in the away game in the last 16. That was it. Didn't score against PSG. Didn't score against Real Madrid in 2 ties.
Right.
They lost that Real Madrid game by a single goal.
But what we're here to do, Dave, and
I'm just giving the overall picture.
Yeah, that's fine.
Versus Henry and Rooney in Europe, because you compare them in Europe.
And
Alan Shearer in the Premier League. I think Alan Shearer blows them out.
A lot of negativity around here today, and I want to celebrate football.
I'd love to. I do celebrate Aguero. I think he's a good player. I'm just saying we need to quantify him a little bit better.
I just feel like the script was, we're going to bring you all on to celebrate Aguero, and the first thing you did was Google bad things about Sergio Aguero to bring to the discussion.
How do you know my search history? That's exactly what I did. I woke up this morning, I thought, you know what? How can I muddy the career of Sergio Aguero?
Nieve definitely knows your search history better than you know Aguero's bed situation. Whoa! Stop what you're doing. If you want to listen to the full episode, click the link in the description and that will take you to your favourite podcast app where you can listen to the full thing and hear us rate our favourite players.